third installment. Good to see you all here. How many have we got? 12. We've got 12 to start. We'll have more coming surely soon. So last week we talked about the Melchizedek touch. And I just wanted to reinforce that again to everybody, the what was on that slide. Success through inheritance, favor and rest. Whatever you touch will turn to gold. And that's what Melchizedek was known for. Everything he touched turned to gold. And I love this picture. It's just so exciting whenever you look at it. You know, it's all gold, and it just makes you feel so positive about what's possible for each and every one of us. I'm not going to go through everything we did last week because I actually, Ruben is going to do some of that himself. So what I also want to just touch on is what we talked about at the very end, the very last slide, which I think we need to just think about that again in more depth. By building a career or business that aligns with your values, the wealth you generate is a reflection of your positive contributions to the world. Wealth with purpose brings greater fulfillment and empowers you to keep creating value that resonates with others. And I think that is a really great way to look at life and to look at how we move forward in generating wealth, not becoming rich, but generating wealth, and how then we can use that wealth to help others and to have a major influence on others going forward. Something else I wanted to say too was I deserve to be wealthy. I can create wealth and wealth in ways that bring purpose, benefit others, and fulfill my potential. And I think that is something else we need to hold on to. It's all about our potential and what is positive, what is possible for us. I'm sorry, I have got a very stuffy nose. I started sneezing probably about 10 minutes ago. And I feel as though I can't really talk properly. This hay fever is it comes and goes with me. It's not with me all the time, but it comes and goes. And I just got it 10 minutes ago. So I think, so just bear with me. I'm just finding it a bit hard to speak properly. So anyway, I think that's all I need to say. I look forward to the rest of this night with Ruben. As always, he has so many pearls of wisdom to give us, and I look forward to what he has to say tonight. Are you there, Ruben?
I am. Awesome. Amazing. If you
Good to
hadn't
see
told us you
you.
had a stuffy nose, we wouldn't have known.
Oh, well, I'm trying very hard to sort of hold my nose together without putting my fingers there. I'm doing it on the inside. That kind of stops you sneezing. Yeah, it's a weird sensation.
I love that. I'll have to try that one of these days. If anyone else has tried it, let me know if it works. Guys, can we just say thank you to Margaret on the chat? She's done such a great job this month hosting. She said that she wasn't sure if she could do it, but hey, I think she's doing an amazing job. How many of you think so? Yes. And Margaret, thank you. It's and also when you give your insights there, just there's a passion connected to it, that there's a belief. It's not just you reciting something, you're actually pulling out some of the stuff that's really making a difference for you. And you can actually tell that that's that even hits me. It's a great reminder for me as you talk. So very, very good. And see, you got all these comments saying amazing. So thank you, Margaret. Thank you again. And did you like the don't give up, just shut up?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to mention as well. Is pretty hard with that shut up, because I find that hard to say shut up, because when we were children, that
Yes.
was almost like a swear word, and we weren't allowed to say it. We had to say, be quiet. or stop that.
Yeah.
And so whenever I hear it, it kind of just takes me back to my childhood and the fact that you don't say it. And it's it is a really strong word, shut up.
Mm.
But the way he says it, it's exactly what we need to do, because our mind just plays these awful tricks on us, and it wears us down, the negative thoughts that we have, and how we bring ourselves down and begin to think, no, we can't do it, we can't do it, but yes, we can do it. And so we've got to say, shut up, shut up. Yeah, yell it,
A-
whatever you've got to do.
Absolutely. I put the link in for that particular song. I tell you what, I was listening to it while I was getting ready before others hadn't come in. I was like, wow, this is really strong. So I played it twice so that some of you who didn't hear it hope. And if you didn't hear it and you missed it, please play it in your own time. It is brilliant. And yes, sometimes we need to say shut up to all the negative things that are coming our way and stay super focused. Who saw the eagle that I put today, and just in saying that vision, stay focused? Was that did that resonate with anyone? Did that help anyone here in the group? Hopefully that you kind of keep that in mind. Hey, Mel, good to see you on, my dear. We got one younger than Hyacinth jumping in. Amazing. Mel's been doing some amazing little um, bracelets. Mel, are you doing anything else? And she packages it extremely well, guys. Actually, I'm just gonna give me a second while I go get it and show you the packaging, because this is great.
There it is.
It is. Just come back here, and I love technology. Turn my cell phone again so you don't see me wearing my pajamas. Hey, just kidding. Or am I? So um, it came in this packet. You guys can see the packet. I'll hotspot. This is what Mel did. Encourage you guys to do the same. And also, if anyone is able to, everyone can turn their cameras on. It'd be great to see everyone doing that. It said Uncle Ruben on it. And it said, God wants to use you to reflect himself to the world. Oh, that's amazing. And then when I opened the packet, it had this little, like, another couple of stickers, which, Mel, I'm trying to work out how to take the sticker back off so I can put them on the back of my phone. So you'll have to show that to me next time. But it actually has got this little packaging stuff in it as well. So it's very well done. It's two stickers here, little packaging stuff in there. And my bracelet, when it came, I took it off, but it came packed like this. Look at that. How awesome is that? Okay, with this little package that says handmade with love. Now, Mel, how old are you? You'll have to unmute and tell us how old you are.
11.
11 years old. How many of you reckon that's amazing? 11-year-old inspired by the stuff we're doing. See, guys, who you hang around with is who you become, right? And if we can inspire our 11-year-old, just like we've inspired Hyacinth to do some investing, and he's been doing great on that. And Hyacinth, are you there? I'd love you to jump in a few minutes and share what you've been doing. And how much are you selling this for?
$5.50.
How many of you think that that's underpriced? Yeah. Oh yeah. What happened to the money I gave you yesterday? You left it on the counter. You better pick it up again. How much would someone pay for this package like this? And be honest, like, don't over
$10.
$10. Yeah. Okay. At least 10.
Yeah, $10.
I reckon at least 15 in the shop, according to me anyway. And there's some really nice ones she's done with other colors as well. But yeah, between 10 and 15. So more than five. I mean, would you agree that this would be worth more than five?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, Mel, there's some research that we're doing, and very proud of you. So, what inspired you to do this, Mel?
Videos on TikTok.
It was on TikTok. I like that. Why not? Yeah. And then, so it was on TikTok, and you started making them. And what are you going to do with the money?
Buy more business stuff.
Okay, And what are you going to do with the money from there?
And then I give Mom the money to do it, like investment stuff.
You're going to give who?
Mom the money.
Oh, Mom. I thought you said Bob. I'm thinking, who's Bob? You're going to give Mom the money to do investment stuff. Lovely. How many of you guys think this is awesome? Yeah, this is very inspiring. Yeah, and so encourage you. Oh, look, Hannah said $12. So yeah, guys, anyway, I mean, definitely not $5. I think 10 to 12, 15, even $20. You could put it at 20 and say, I'm going to put half towards helping the kids in Sri Lanka. But yeah, 12 is a good price. 15 is a good price. I reckon $10 to $12. That's a good price. What, everyone agree with that? $10 to $12? Yeah. If
Yes.
anyone feels like they want to order one, could they let Mel know? Just talk to her and encourage her. This is great, guys. I mean, if I got this sort of encouragement when I was 11, I would have been over the moon, right? So I think, and Margaret said something at the start when you guys came in. She said this is stuff you won't learn at school, right, Margaret? And that's totally agreed. So well done. How's everyone's Monday? I want you guys to,
Actually, I was very impressed that Mel was there. I've never seen her come on before. So
there you go. She's there and she's dressed up like her auntie with Louis Vuitton. I like the Louis. Mel, where's your Louis Vuitton? I gotta get my Louis Vuitton shirt. I gotta buy one.
Fake.
There you go, Mel. You've got an order. Make me one. And Mel, please pick up money because I gave you the money. If it's good that you're making them, but you got to get money, right? You got to get profits as well. I think Auntie Hannah would agree, being a bookkeeper and the bookkeeping coach, that if you don't have profits, then you don't have a business, right? Anna, would you agree with that? I'll add you to the spotlight.
100%, and you worked hard for it, so it's money that you well earned. So go get it, girl. And I would love to have one as well.
Ooh, look at that. You got 2 orders now, all right?
You can give it to Rubica. She will pass it on to me. When you get her order, you can give it to Rubica.
What
Eh,
color?
Have you got pictures of the different colors? Maybe you can pop it on the WhatsApp group, Mel. You don't have to do it right now, but you can pop it in the WhatsApp group, the different colors, so then people can order. Because like what you made for Uncle Patrick was really nice, and I said, can you make another one for me, like that? Because this one's I like this color for certain occasions, and then I like the other one that was for different occasions. So I wore this for my birthday yesterday, and it was really cool.
Mel, I wanted one of the green ones and one of the purple ones.
Look at that.
Say that on Sunday.
There you go. You got 4 orders already. So give
Uh,
Hannah a big give Mel a big 777 just to say thank you, and she's been such a blessing. And it's very exciting.
I was making some to support Biafra in Finland. So what I will do is I may give you 2 of mine to sell.
There you go. Pass
Yeah,
it on.
it's different. Just sell it and put the money there.
Well, there you go. That's good partnerships. Well done, Mama.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Well, it's good to see everyone on. And I don't know if there's any new people on. Anyone invited someone here that might be new? And if they are, please say hi. I think we know everyone here. There's Tesfa. Good to see you on, bro. Hi, Synth. Darren. Good to see you, bro. Navin. Good to see you, bro. Joanne. Good to see you, sis. Patrick. Good to see you. Sandy. Good to see you. Hannah said hi already. Em and Mel and Rubika. Good to see you. Ross and Hiromi.
Hello.
Carol. And of course, Margaret and wonderful me. It's my birthday yesterday, and I'm continuing to celebrate. So feel free to send blessings. I hope you guys got your notebooks out. What we're doing today is very significant, as I've often said, and I think Rubika's caught on to this and said this to remind everyone that Rubika, when do we start writing our goals and preparing for the following year?
Now. We start now.
When's the best month?
November.
Yeah. So what month are we in, guys?
November.
November. right? So, any reason why I always say let's create our goals from November for the following year?
Yep, so that we're prepared before we start off in January. Otherwise, we think we'll start in January and then we're so busy the 1st and 2nd and 3rd of January. And then we think, oh no, we've lost a few days there, and then get a bit discouraged. So if we're ready to go and we've got everything ready and we've started, then it's like upwards from there.
Yeah, beautiful. And does that put us ahead of everyone else? Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Most people start their goals 31st night into the 1st, and then they don't look at it again till maybe Feb, and then March comes along. It's already then Easter into March, April. We go on holiday, and people literally kick off businesses more after February. What if you've started everything in November on with your investments, with your businesses, with your goals, even in personal life goals? How exciting would that be that you guys can, be ahead of everyone else? If you think that's a good idea, I want you guys to put a 888 in and let's get started. If you feel there's someone who should be here that isn't here, grab them, tell them to jump in. Again, it's the as a saying, it's the action takers that are the money makers. It's the note takers that are also the money makers. All right. So again, don't feel to write everything I've said. I think I like what Margaret said before. Just lots of slides, take in what's required. I've got exercises for you to do today, and they're not breathing exercises, but they're good wealth creation based exercises. So let's get started. I hope everyone's read the disclaimer as always. Em, that was a great video you set up today. How many of you like that new video? That was really exciting. Thank you. You're very creative, Em. Yes, Melanie likes it. So brilliant what you do. And I love that creativity, and I can just see it becoming something that you can produce income from. I like what Hannah said. Hannah said, look, if you deserve to get paid, for what you do with Mel's his work, and that's for every one of us, with our passion. What if we get paid from our passion? What an excitement that is, because we are doing what we love doing, that we would even do it for free. But then how amazing would it be to do it where you are getting highly valued for it and you're helping others and you become the expert, right? So we're up to number 3 in our series on the Melchizedek touch. If you missed 1 and 2, please feel free to just go back to YouTube and you can check the videos out. And as Margaret said very clearly, success through inheritance, favor, and rest. Whatever you touch will turn to gold. And it's that idea of we are inheritors, we're not imposters. So the first week we did on inheritors versus imposters. What's the imposter mindset versus that inheritance thought process and plan as you go ahead and look at wealth creation. Last week we looked at I deserve to be wealthy, right? Today we're going to look at getting ready for 2025 through 3 things: goal setting, vision building, and wealth increase. Okay. And so those are the things I want you to just really kind of think about as you prepare for what's ahead. Okay. So last week, I love this statement: I deserve to be wealthy. As we always say, the wealthy run after, they don't chase after money, but they control money, and they also produce it in a way that we define it a little bit more to be able to create value and wealth in ways that bring purpose, benefit others, and fulfill our potential. So how many of you are in agreement that wealth is good and you want to create that and you're really after the wealth side of things? If you are, I want you to pop it in the chat group. We want to see everyone responding to this and being part of this, because the ones who respond and ones who participate and not spectators actually get something from this, and we see change in their lives. And I'm so excited seeing more and more change. I just spoke to a gentleman today. He's in Malaysia, and he has this amazing product called Godspeed that increases the efficiency of cars by plugging it into the cigarette lighter. And 12 years ago, Papa Luke and I met him in Malaysia. He sold us a device. It didn't do anything to our cars. I threw mine away. Papa Luke kept his. He pops it into his new car a couple of months ago, and he goes, all of a sudden, when the car's meant to have 400 kilometers of petrol left, it shoots up to 700 kilometers of petrol and efficiency. So we got in touch with him again, and he's going to come on next week and join our wealth creation program. No one has valued him Everyone's asking to do it for free in Malaysia. So we've ordered 3 and we're going to test it out again. We want to take this to market. We want to help him. And God reminded this of him as he was working. Now, look, it's 12 years of waiting. And he's just got results here and there, but nothing substantiated. So, he's got my mind and Papa Luke's attention in saying, hey, how do we create this and set this up as a business that's going to help him and value what he has done? So I want you guys to think about how what you do, it should be highly valued. And if it produces income, amazing. And it should produce income. So today we're going to look at the goal setting, the vision building, and the wealth increase. We're going to look at those 3 things in more detail. And I want you to keep remembering, why are we looking at goal setting? Because we want to create value and wealth in ways that bring purpose, benefit others, and fulfill potential. Okay. And so it's from that perspective that we are running. I want to introduce some of you. This is going to be new to you. Others of you have seen this already. We call it the wheel of life. I like to call it the Christ-centered wheel of life, of putting God first in our lives. And from that, having these 8 areas. How many of you remember seeing this sometime during the times that we've had conversations, whether it's in home church, whether it's in discipleship program, whether it's in wealth creation? Okay, we got Hyacinth, who is. Hyacinth, it'd be great to have your camera on as well. You look really handsome when you switched on, and it inspires us as well. Anyone else? So Rubika has anyone not seen this? If you haven't seen this, I want you to put a no, I haven't. Ross and Hiromi have. Okay, so this is a very important Christ-centered, or a wheel of life. You don't have to call it Christ-centered if anyone isn't looking at as Christ in the journey that I look at it with my passion. But a wheel of life that looks at the different areas, that gives you a really holistic balance. Okay, and it's spiritual journey. So your passion journey experience, spiritually discovering and living from purpose. Your life partner, if you have a life partner, relationship with my covenant partner. If you don't have, and I know a few of you here don't have a life partner yet, then it's looking at it from, what will my relationship with my life partner look like? Family, my relationship with my immediate and extended families and communities. Friends, my relationship with my different circles and levels of friendships. Wealth creation, producing assets, income producing assets, and investments. Business, charitable giving, debt reduction. Career, calling, my careers, studies, skills, qualifications, talents, abilities, and intellectual maturity. Leisure, rest, my hobbies, interests, holidays, rest periods, relaxation time. Now, that was the big one I had to work on personally, because I didn't think that part of the wheel of life was leisure and rest, but it is. And Rubika has been a very good advocate of remembering and teaching us that through rest, we actually grow and are more fruitful. And our health area, physical fitness, mental fitness, and emotional fitness. So I want you guys to take a picture of this, a note of this, because this is something that has been invaluable. We introduced this to our group about 5 years ago, I think, 2019. It's about 5 years ago. And it's been very powerful, very essential part of our journey in looking at, do I have a balanced life? Do I have a holistic life that is running from my purpose and looking at different areas of my life? Okay, so some of you have seen this, some of you haven't, and obviously revisit. So here's what I want you to start doing, guys. I want you to take your notepads out, take your books out. It's a little bit of a journey today, and look at. I want you to write 1 to 3 things you would like to achieve in each area of the wheel of life. So what I mean by 1 to 3 things is, look at each area. There are 8 areas in the wheel of life. And I want you to look at each of these areas and go, okay, in my spiritual journey, what are 1, 2, 3 things maximum that I want to achieve in this area in the next 12 months? So in 2025, okay, we're starting 2025 now. So let's say the next 14 months between now and next year, end of next year, what are 3 things I want to achieve in my spiritual journey? What about my journey with my life partner, my family, my friends? So you will end up having between 8 to 24 things that you have written down. I'll give you an example of something that I was looking at personally. when I was writing these down. So in my family, I would like to have a deeper relationship with my adult children and spend more intentional time with my younger ones. Because as you know, out of our 9 children, pretty much 7 of them are now adults, and we've got 2 younger ones. And so that's one of the things I would say, okay, that's one of the things I would like to do that sits in the family category. Another area that I've written down is I'd like to be more fit and healthy in 2025. And so that fits in the health area. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some time. And once you've written it down, I want you to pop it in the chat group. So this is going to essentially take us from here. We're going to look at refining it and making it super, super focused. You can, we'll go into SMART goals after this, but I don't want you to write any SMART goals right now. All I want to do is just think and just write down 1 to 3 goals, 1 to 3 things you want to achieve. I wouldn't call them goals just yet, but say this is an achievement, a milestone between now and next year. Because remember, we're going to start this from this month onwards. Okay, if anyone needs some clarity, please feel free to unmute and let me know. Otherwise, I'll give you guys about 5-7 minutes to write these down. And when you're done, just pop it in the chat group. Let us know that you're done. If you want to share it, you're welcome to share it as well. Awesome, guys. How is everyone going? And I know you may not have got through everything, but where are you at? Because I just want to get you started because of the timing we have online. But it's something that I would highly recommend that you keep. Take some time to go through because this will set you up for success. Okay, I have been doing this for the last 25 years, setting up my goals in November. It's been so good. And the last 5 years, we discovered this ability to just have a look at 8 areas of our life and that's significant to us. You may have other areas that you can add in, or you might subtract an area, but it's really powerful when you begin to have a place from which to work through. So what I want to do next is I want you to take what you've written and convert each of what you wrote to SMART goals. Does anyone remember what a SMART goal is? If you can type it into the chat group if you do. What is a SMART goal? Because a goal by itself, if it's not SMART, is immeasurable. We can't measure. It's unmeasurable. Sorry, we can't measure it. And so SMART goal gives us an opportunity to measure when you've achieved something. So if anyone knows what a SMART goal is, you can cheat, you can Google. But hopefully someone knows, and hopefully everyone knows, because we've been talking about it so often over the last few years. What's a SMART goal? SMART, what does that stand for? Or if writing takes too long, you can unmute and tell us. Wonderful. Specific, measurable, achievable. We've got 3 out of 5. Well done, Hannah. Anyone else want to put the other 2 in? Or maybe Hannah's getting the next 2. Or you can unmute and share the last 2. And these are things I want you to eventually have in your culture of being a wealth creator with the mindset, remembering some of these things. Beautiful, realistic, and time-bound. Okay. Some either realistic or relevant. Those are one of 2 options we can use, but yes, either of the 2. So let me give you going back to the example of me spending time with my children. How do I make it into a SMART goal? So example is I might say I'll endeavor to spend 1 to 2 hours with 3 of my adult children each month, either during or after our monthly dinners, birthday event celebrations. What do I mean by that? Well, I realize that I sometimes don't get to spend time with each one of them in a month because there are 7 of them that I need to connect with. And so I get overwhelmed with that sometimes, and I don't spend time with any of them, except when we have, as we meet together once a month, minimum once a month, we meet together for dinners and spend time together, but just individually. So one of my SMART goals is to be able to tick off and say, have I actually initiated a conversation or going out with one of them for breakfast or for a gym workout or just a connection point where we spend just quality time, 1 to 2 hours off the phones, off the radar, just talking to one another. And for me, it's like, can I do at least 3 of my adult children? So can you see how it's SMART? It's specific. It's got a measurement around it. It's achievable. If I said I'm going to try and meet up with all of them, I might not make that in a month. But 2 to 3 of them, yes, it would. Okay. And then with my younger ones, it's specifically looking at a goal. And R is it realistic or is it relevant to my overall centeredness of life? Yes, it is relevant to my family side of things. And is it time bound? And yes, it is. So I've said, 1 to 2 hours, I can start doing that immediately. With my younger children, I make a choice like a SMART goal that says I will take my younger children out on a Friday fortnightly and spend the day with them on activities they enjoy. Okay. And so part of that is I've already started to do that when Hyacinth does his youth program. I kind of try and use that time to spend with the younger ones, but also like they've been asking, can we go to Kmart? Can we go to Kmart? Yes, we can go to Kmart. All right. Let's go do that. But no phones. I have to put aside on mute. So if you guys write to me, I won't be watching it because I'm terrible sometimes. I'll be walking through the shopping center saying I'm spending time with the children or the wifey, and I'll be on my phone most of the time. Anyone seen people like that? If you see me like that, feel free to come and slap me in the face in a gentle, with your words, not with your real hand. That would hurt. In terms of health, when I said I want to be more fit, I can't measure what does that look like to be more fit. But if I bring it to a SMART goal that says I will see a reduction of body fat and an increase in muscle mass at my next body scan in December 2024. I did one last month in September, and I've made some significant changes and improvements. So I want to see measurably, have I actually made those improvements in what I can, in the measurements, right? I will swap my walks to runs on the treadmill at least once a week. So again, it's around that SMART goal, and increase my daily minimum steps to 12,000 by February 2025. Okay. Does that make sense, guys? So, and your goal, your times can be 3 months goals. It can be 6-month goals. It can be 12-month goals. Okay. And that just gives you some measurements. So I want to give you guys some more time. But let me just ask a couple of people to maybe respond. Is this making sense? So Ross, Hiromi, is this making sense to you? In converting just like a desire, I'd like to see this take place in this part of my life, to a more SMART goal of, okay, I'm going to put some measurements in. Rossi?
Pick on me now. I can see the benefit in doing it.
Yeah.
I've just got to sort of, the way I want to retire, but I've got to work. So I've just got to work things to suit. You know, it's really hard to put how do you organize something for me? I can't really organize anything.
Beautiful. Great. And that's okay, because is this the first time you're seeing this?
No, I've heard you speak of this before with the SMART goals and everything and the Wheel of Life.
Yeah. Okay. So just to encourage you that sometimes when we speak of goals, how many people have heard of goals and never done them, or try to do them and never achieve them, or never made it towards a SMART goal? I want you to put a one in the chat group if you've heard about goals, but you didn't put them in, or you did put them in, but they weren't SMART and you didn't have measurements on them. Have you ever had that happen? And I had that for years. I was never efficient with my SMART goals. Right. And I learned about them. So Ross, just to encourage you, like, just give yourself the opportunity to recognize this and write some stuff down in different parts of wheel. And then if you want to, try and get a SMART goal. And even if it's one goal, right? Say you just did one SMART goal for each of these, that's just 8 goals for the year, for 2025, that you're going to achieve.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's give it a go. Hiromi, what about you? What do you feel?
Some of them, yeah, I have find some area is a bit hard for me.
Yep. Good. So what's an area that's a little bit of a challenge for you?
Challenge probably the friends.
Yep. So friend side, my relationship with my different circles and levels of friendships. Okay. So you feel like what sort of desire would you have around friends? What's one thing you'd like to see in the next 12 months take place around friends and friendships?
I didn't think that a friend as a main goals. So, and I want to build some friendship next year. But I neglected. So.
Yep. Okay. Well, this is great. So that means you're getting an opportunity now to be aware of friendships being as important in our circles. Like there are others who might have an imbalanced life where they have too much friendships and not focus on other areas of their life, right? And for you, it might have been the opposite way. But being aware of this allows for that to take place. Interesting story. Last Saturday, we had the guys, we went out together just on Saturday for my birthday, and we had a little bit of a men's group that Yuri organized. And I told the boys, it's the first time I can say I have a group of men that I can go out with. Funny, I've never had that all these decades of being alive. I just turned 48 and I've never had that. I remember my wife sometimes saying, "Hey, do you want to go hang out with the boys?" And I go, "What boys?" I don't have that closeness. I have a lot of people that I hang around with. I have a lot of connections. I have a lot of um, uh, what's the word I'm thinking of? Colleagues, maybe, but friendships that were deep and were able to be close enough to talk with, and not just at a I'm a leader and you're, the people I lead situation, but just friendships. And it was really beautiful being able to go out with a few of them. But I didn't realize the quality of that circle of friends that I didn't have just with men. Because, being so close as a family where my mom, my sister, my wife are all, kind of friendships around that closeness that just having some men that I could hang out with was rare. So something good for you, Hiromi, just to be aware of. So thank you for being vulnerable on that and that intention. Is there anything here that you go, yeah, that's something I often do, and it's an area that I can write a goal on quite easily.
Mm, maybe that at the moment I learning crypto also to invest inside. So I will probably continue to do so.
Yeah. So the wealth creation side of things.
Yeah, mainly trading and SMS, what to call it? SM.
Self-managed super fund.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, good. So you can have some goals around those as well. So great. So guys, I want you to spend a few minutes saying, can I write? And again, you don't have to exhaust yourself through all of them, but just what can you convert some of the things that you wrote in the previous slide, which is just what are 1 to 3 things in each area of life that you want to achieve in the next 12 months. If you can just write something further to make it into a smart goal and just get started. We don't have to have it perfect. And as you're doing that, Sandy, you said you have read some of your past goals and noticed lots of them have come through. And that's the power of writing goals, right? Because it's it goes into your subconscious when you write them. And then you start to, if you can review them and then you start to speak about them, guess what happens? They start to come into play, right? After we've done this, guys, we're going to do one just fully on income and business as well. But yeah, Sandy, tell us how that ran for you.
Oh, that was very obvious for me when I look back on my past goals. And I think you'll remember that when you were still in Springvale, was one of my goals was to live down in Ocean Grove.
I remember that.
Yes, and you a couple of times said just be careful because that may not be what God chooses to do, and yet it was a smooth transition, as you know, selling the house and then having a few months of rental with friends and then coming over to Ocean Grove. So yes, it was huge for me.
Yeah,
absolutely huge. Yes.
That's been how many years now have you been at Ocean Grove?
5.
5 years. Amazing. With the beautiful beach and the beautiful community that you're starting to be more of an influence and be in there as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there you go. That's one great. And again, had it in your mind. If you don't write these down, guys, we forget it because life takes over. But this is all aligned with our vision and dreams and about the recognition of the value that we bring in being wealthy. When you get to being wealthy and rich, when you start having income that's far surpassing what you need, if you don't have this balance, you can go off track, right? Because you don't know what to do. I was talking to my neighbor. We got to meet one of our neighbors that we don't often have a conversation with, who's hardly at home today. And I know everyone in my neighborhood except for maybe two or three that I don't know as well as the others. And he was just taking his little son down the road, and we were coming home, and I got to speak with him. And I love the fact that he asked me, "So what do you do?" And I said, "I'm just going to prepare for the wealth creation program." He said, "Is it for your church?" I said, "No." It's an interesting assumption. I want to go back to him and ask him why he assumed that, but. I said, no, it's just for people from different parts of the world come in and from Australia as well. And we just run through wealth mindset. And he said, oh, so what do you do for work? And I said, well, I do more investments in business. I'm not I'm retired out of the 9 to 5. And he said, oh, that's really interesting. Maybe I'd love to speak to you about it sometime. And I went, yeah, absolutely. I said, I don't talk to people that much sometimes nowadays because people think I'm crazy having these weird thoughts that we don't have to work till 65 and we can actually run a business that frees us up. And he goes, okay. So he works in a school and he's a counselor and he does an amazing job, passionate, but he was keen to know, how do I release my time? And so those are very interesting ways that we, guys, when we have a desire, a vision, write it down because it'll start to come to pass. Okay. Since a few people started pushing me to rebrand and bring up Capture Your Purpose, and then Hannah just came in and gave me a 2x4 and said, hey, I need you to coach me. And then a few others. Now, all of a sudden, people are coming up. I'm coaching others. I'm writing out plans for people. And I love what I do. It's great. And to be able to have people come in and start being part of that is very exciting. And then seeing results in each one's life is amazing. Even today, just talking to Joseph, who's about to start his business up. As Ross is retiring, Joseph is starting his business, and it's in the handyman side of things. And he's like, Ruben, I need to come to you. Right, we need to write up a plan. Absolutely, let's do that. I'm good at that. I know how to do that. I know how to create vision and leadership through that. So, guys, I want to just create a few more slides for you to understand. And then I just really recommend take some time, like I put some music on before, take some time to review and write some important goals, because this will really set you up. Is it worth taking even half a day? Go down to Sandy's in Ocean Grove and just go to the beach and just sit there and write. I mean, find a place in your backyard. All right. Now, how many of you have seen these quadrants before? And hopefully by now you guys should all be aware of this. You should be able to write this on a napkin. ESBI, the left-hand quadrant, the right-hand quadrant. There's so much about it. The book, Robert Kiyosaki's book on quadrants, is really powerful on this, and the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, and there's a whole series. But those two really worth reading. And I know I've given you lots of books to read. You can listen to the audio. You can just go do a summary. You can get ChatGPT. But who's gotten a hold of understanding that there's a left quadrant and a right quadrant in life? And this is stuff, as we say, you don't get taught this, and it's really important in our wealth creation mindset that we have this. And in 2025, I want you to understand that I'm all about getting you to the right-hand side quadrants. Because the left-hand side is employee. You have a job. What does JOB stand for? Just out of bed or just over broke, right? And there's no leverage. Okay, there's only 5% of the wealth is found in jobs. The amount of active work determines income. So you are trading your time for money. Is that right? Okay. If you don't work, you don't get paid. Yes, you might have some sick leave. Yes, you might have some annual leave. But if you say tomorrow, I decided not to go to work, I'm going to take Margaret, you're an employee. If you took a 12-week break, would you get paid for it? You're muted, by the way. If you took a 12-week break, and so this is not annual leave, you've just actually annual leave is about 4 weeks. So if you took a 12-week break, you're muted, so I can't hear you. You have to unmute.
Yes, so I'd probably have about 5.5 months worth of long service leave.
Wow.
6 weeks worth.
Okay, so you've obviously worked a lot of time to get that 5.5 months, and it's time to cash in on that. All right. So if you were a new employee or 5 years in, would you have that same opportunity?
No.
All right. So generally, if you don't work, you don't get paid, right? That's as an employee. Self-employed, a lot of people get into this place where they go, oh, I'm starting my own business. But what are we really doing? We're becoming self-employed. You own a job. You don't have a job, you own a job. And there's no leverage in it because you're trading time for money. Who are the self-employed here currently? And this is where I'm transitioning some of you across. Hannah, self-employed moving to business owner. So at the moment, Hannah, if you didn't work, would money still be coming in? Feel free to, you're muted as well. Sorry, I mute everyone while I was doing the recording side of this, the presentation of this, but feel free to unmute.
Yeah, no. If I'm not working, then no income.
Yep.
It's a job. I'm number one. I am the business. I'm in the business. So yeah.
It's interesting, right? But then we're trying to transition you over to
A business owner. Yep.
What will that look like to you?
It means that I can have income coming from the business, but without me working in the business, and create other income streams that are not necessarily the business.
Beautiful. How many others would think like, would it be possible for us to move into being a business owner if you're self-employed, or if you're thinking of going into business, where it'll run without you? You'll have a system. It'll run with minimal effort. Let me not say it will run without you, because we still need to keep the hand on the buzzer. Okay. And it will be where others and systems and people are creating income for you. Is that a good idea? It's brilliant, right? It's a very smart idea. And what about investors? The investor categories where we let money make money. Okay, let money begin to produce money. And so your money starts to grow. It has children. It starts to produce more money, and those children grow up and have more children. And so money is making money, right? Now, people say, what? Money doesn't grow on trees. That's a silly statement, because it does. You can create investments that move, and in the day and age we're in, the technology that we're in, the abilities we have now, money is making money. And so here's a young man like Hyacinth who has tapped into the investor category. And Hyacinth, you're doing the treasure NFT. Is that a business or is it an investment? Looking at these categories, where would you put it in? Or is it employment or self-employed?
I would put it as investment, like I put my money in, and then I'd look at it as an investment.
So how much money did you start with, and how much have you got now?
Well, I started with $100, and I successfully withdrawn my another $100, which I made, and then I made another $100 again, so that in total is $200 from Treasure NFT, and I'm still making more money now.
Beautiful.
Great.
So your $100 has recovered your initial capital, and you've made $200 from it. 300 in total, and you're still making money. So money is making money. It's multiplying. How much effort do you put in?
Not a lot, just buy and sell. That's it. Simple.
How long does it take to do?
Probably no more than 5 minutes. Just logging in, and that's it. Buy and sell. Easy.
Less than 5 minutes in a day.
Yeah.
How much knowledge do you need to know about it?
Not so much. All you need to know is just press the button. Buy and sell. That's all you need to do.
Wait, press the button. Okay. So guys, this makes sense. Now, obviously, Hyacinth is 17. He doesn't have as many responsibilities. So, making $200, $300 every month is for him a good amount of income, but it wouldn't be for all of us, right? But what if we can now use that to make 1,000 or 2,000 and start to create $5,000, $10,000 a month? Would that be helpful to people? And you're letting money make money. Okay. Now, is it a journey? Yes, it's an investment journey that takes time. As we say, schools won't want to teach you this. So a little bit more about the quadrants is that the left-hand side is a linear side of income versus the right-hand side being residual income. And knowing the difference is very helpful. On the left-hand side, 100% of your efforts produces the income. Okay, but on the right-hand side, you leverage the efforts of either money or other people or systems to create income. So my goal is continuously to take you guys into the right-hand side. Is that making sense? Okay. Want to keep moving you, and I keep pushing you into the right-hand side. Now, are there risks in there? Yes, but there's just as many risks as being an employee and self-employed. We've been conditioned, though, by school, by community, by education, by the government, by the growing up and the culture to be on the left-hand side. And we think that the right-hand side is unreachable, or we sometimes even judge people on the right-hand side. But the right-hand side is a much, much better place to be in. Okay. And why? Because it gives us the wealth factor, and we can start to produce income. We can start to produce value. We can start to give back. So would you make it your business to be a continuous student of wealth creation, of wealth creation mindset and leadership? See your business create income through leveraging time and money to create more money. Okay. Now, this is something that I created many years ago when I started teaching about business a few decades ago. It's in fact one of the banners I used at Papa Luke. First saw over I think 15 years ago, and when we connected when I was speaking at a church on creating business. And as I say, in any business, you want to look at three areas that you can create cash flow from which you can build assets of property, business, and stocks and crypto. Now, this is, I call it the business triangle of success. Again, you don't have to memorize this, but just being aware that there are ways that you can use, there are principles that when you apply, then it helps you leverage quickly of people who have gone before you, who've made mistakes that you can learn from. So there are two ways you can learn: from other people's mistakes or from your own, right? Which one's more expensive? Our own mistakes are usually more expensive. Okay. So who is ready to create or take the existing business to a level where it runs profitably with minimal efforts from you? And I want you to think about this because it'll do a few things. It releases your time. It releases resources of money, creativity, and equity. It releases you to design a life of your dreams and live from purpose. To get it ready for sale or build a legacy with it to go down, to pass down to generations after you. Some people don't think about how business can actually be passed down. And the goal is to make at least $100,000 to $300,000 per year in profits, not just income, but profits. So how many of you here would think, okay, this is something I'd really love to take place in 2025? If you feel that, I want you to put the word business in the chat group. And I want you to think about how could I take my passion to take something I like and create a business from it and eventually get it to run without me. Now, initially, it's a journey because you're changing your mindset. It's a challenge. It's something that's shifting around you. But it's the same thing as being an employee or self-employed. It's a journey, right? And you're taking a risk and you're going to university and you're getting a degree or you're getting some qualification to get a job, to go for interviews, to get a job, or to set up your own business, to find clients. Here, you are running in the business quadrant where you're producing income. Is there anyone here who thinks, okay, 2025, there's something here I could look at? And if there is, I want you to look at booking in a time with me, guys, so that we can look at it and see if there is a plausible way that you guys can actually create business and start business, or take it to a place where it's ready for sale, or look at how we can pass it down and build a legacy. Again, these are some things that are really important. What is the business going to do? It's going to release your time. It should be able to release resources of money, creativity, equity. Okay. Now, the businesses, there was a time when I was running 5 businesses at one time, but then I brought it down to just 1-2 businesses. Then I went into the investments, and the investments were producing really well. So I came back. So I stopped doing business. I started focusing on the investments. Then the investments had their time, because I remember everything has a cycle. Went back, and as I was doing some investments in the property side, moved out of the Forex side of things, and then just focused, then came back into the business arena again. Okay. Now, the great thing is because I've got tools, I can keep moving from one place to another and producing income. The businesses that I run start with little or no capital, but I invest heavily in my education. I'm always being educated in it. So I want you guys to just take it, like, as you're writing your goals for 2025, if you think there is an opportunity for you to create a business that runs without you, that you can pass down, maybe get it ready for sale, which means you want to scale it up rather than scale it down and make a profit, then yeah, come catch up with me, have a conversation. Love to hear from you. Okay. What about if you're someone who is ready to create passive income through investments that are low, medium, and high risk? Okay. What will it do? It'll make your money make money. You will learn to evaluate investments such as crypto, property, stocks, etc., that return between 10 to 30% per year. Some will return 70 plus per year. Others will return 10 to 15x of your initial capital and ongoing passive income. And again, these are not theory. These are actual things that I've done and I am doing and engaging in. Okay, and we're seeing the results. We learn as we go. You learn when to get in and when to jump out of projects with minimal loss to capital. That's important as well. Because sometimes we get in, and some of us have got into some things this year where we didn't have our capital come back the way we expected. Okay. But when we start to learn, we start to leverage. Some of us had got more capital back than others. Some of us got all our capital back and doubled and tripled, and others didn't. And again, it's about the knowledge. When you're in learning, you can't just be in passive income and close your eyes. It's being active in the passive. You've got to keep on looking at it, what's taking place, learning. And part of that has been a learning experience with some of you that I've journeyed with you on. Okay, now the goal is, what if your passive income can create 5 to 20,000 per month passively and that means that you're active in checking it out, but you don't have to trade your time for the returns. Who would be interested in that? And if you are, again, guys, book a 45-minute consult. Get things going. Let's create a plan for 2025. Now, a lot of us at the beginning of the year, I said to you guys, hey, we had some great platforms, and by the end of this year, I can't see why we couldn't have made a few $1 million. And that didn't take place. Why? Because some of the curves that go up and down, some of the information that was given to us about those platforms were not accurate. But we went in and we tried it out. What do? We learned to evaluate. Okay. Now, some other things like the crypto, the bull market, it's starting, everything we learned for the year to position us, we're seeing an amazing thing take place. Okay. There's some of us who are doing some work with the Treasure NFT.
Ruben, we've lost a lot of this. We're not hearing you properly.
Oh,
about the last 45 seconds.
Yes. Yeah.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
We
You're
can
back
hear you
now.
now, but we've lost a fair bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
You lost the last 45 seconds. Okay. So what up to ABC? Did you hear ABC or
You can start from C.
C onwards? Okay. So what I was saying was, I'll go from C onwards. It's important to learn when to get in and when to jump out of projects with minimal loss to capital. That's important. Now, as I was saying, some of us jumped in through this year. We had an expectation that we could, by the end of 2024, had made a few $100,000 or even $1 million return. And the information we had at the time made sense for us to go in. And as time went on, we reevaluated and saw it didn't give us what we were expecting. On the other hand, some of the other projects like the crypto, for example, we're set ready for the bull run, and we're already seeing that take place. Some of us have already seen an increase in 20, 40, even 2x in some of our initial income. Now, with passive, it's really important to know that you've got to be active in the passive. What does that mean? We got to be able to continuously evaluate what's taking place in your investments. Make sense? Okay. So D is, what would it look like in your passive income if you started to make 5 to 20,000 per month passively through your incomes? Now, not just, and I'm talking about through property, through businesses, through stock, through crypto, through Forex, through different ways. And it's a journey. Now, you may not see that happen in 1 year. You might. It depends on your mind. Like we've seen Treasure NFT, we've got a plan that says, hey, based on it continuing, it is potentially possible that within a few months of doubling, we can start to produce $2,000 a month, $5,000, even $10,000 a month. With the crypto, it is potentially possible that in the next 12 months that we can see a huge increase in the monies that we've put in, 10x minimum, up to even 500x on some coins. Now, are we willing to take the risk? Only risk what you're willing to lose, as we say, or only risk, or only put in what you're willing to take a risk on. But also look at the potential of winning, not just the loss. And we look at both sides. And what I've learned with both of these in the right quadrant is that you can't have all your ducks lined up before you do something. What you can do is learn, and as you learn, create income that's a little bit at a time rather than big money. So it's not saying, oh, this one thing is going to give me everything I need. Instead of that, it's saying, what are 5 ways, 10 ways that I can diversify and produce bits of income from everywhere? Some will be low risk, some will be medium risk, and some will be high risk, as I've set it up here. Okay. So if you're serious about that, again, I just saw Churchill turn on his camera. Now I'm excited with Churchill. Right. I've said to him with the investment side of things, with the treasure NFT, for example, I said, look, we at the moment with the rugby team, as you create the vision for it and create this sustainable income, it's sowing seed that's going to produce a harvest, but you've got to wait a few months, double a few months. And after about 6 months, 3 months, you'll start to have some sustainable income. All right. But it's a process you got to be active in. And so there are different ways we can do that. There's stocks that you can put money into that are long term, give you about 3, 10, 20% a year. May not give you a whole lot to live off, but little bits of those will add to your income. There's property that you can leverage off with the NDIS projects, or renting out rooms, or buying and building and selling, or buying property off the plan. And then before it's ready to be built, you could sell it within a year. So there's different options that you can think through that you can do. And this is the investment side of things. We're producing passive style income. Okay. So hope that's helped you guys. And I want you to think about that as you write your goals for 2025, but do get in touch, because this is the stuff that's helpful to me, helpful to you, that you can use and leverage my skills from. I know one of our investments that we did a few years ago, we just started with $3,000 US, 30% return of $1,000 in a year, was quite conservative. And then all of a sudden we built it over 5 years. I put about 20,000 in, and we created an income stream of over 15, 20,000 every single week. Now it's potentially possible. Took us by surprise, but it was a good surprise. But we'd already recovered our capital as well through it. And we didn't put any extra capital in, but produced a good income. How many of you think that's a good idea? Okay. Now, are there other ideas out there? Yes. Are there bad ideas as well? 100%. But that's why we are in this program together, to evaluate that. Business-wise, can you produce income? What if you produce income with little to no capital? What's your return? What if you produce income where you don't have huge amounts of outlay? Your profits become much higher. Okay. So think through those things and have some chats with me and create some goals around this, that are smart goals that you want to achieve. So just before we finish off, I want to just have a chat about the 9 attributes of an eagle that we can learn from, and how that connects us back to that vision, to that Melchizedek calling of whatever we touch turns to gold. Because as we learn, we grow, we start seeing some amazing things take place. Number 1, an eagle has focus. Eagles can focus on prey from up to 5 kilometers away and won't lose focus until they capture it. Now that's exciting to me. Why? Because I want you to think about 2024. 2024 is ending, and as we get to November, start thinking about you're already in 2025. What does it look like? What's your clear focus for your business? Now, I know we've talked about the 8 areas of a balanced life, but I want to just focus in and hone in on the business end of things and say, what's your clear focus? Have a clear vision. Write down whether you're a business investor or not, whether you are, whether you've got your own business or whether you've got investments or not. And all of us here have got something we're doing that is pushing us to the right-hand quadrant. But write down a vision and keep it really clear. One of the vision statements I have for Project 61 is that we would start to create $1 million a month income. Now that's where we could say that's a long way off, but at the same time, by saying it, we've started to open opportunities. Like tomorrow, we're going to go see a trader and say, well, what would it look like if they came and worked with us and do Forex trading and crypto trading for us? And we have a platform that's transparent that our guys can jump into, and part of the profits will go back to Project 61. Is that a great idea? Yes. We're fully focused on creating income that's beyond just us. It's giving back and making significance. Number 2, something we can learn from the eagles is tenacity. Eagles are tenacious and can use storms to their advantage. Now, I'm sure if I ask every one of you here, who's been through a storm before, a financial storm, a financial crisis, who's going through one at the moment, I'm sure all of us will answer yes, right? Now, are you still alive? Yes. If I ask you, last year, did you go through a financial storm? Or in the last 5 years, have you been through a financial storm? Or 10 years ago? I'm sure all of us will say yes again. And at the time we go through a storm, we feel like this is the end. That's it. I'm done. What am I going to do? How am I going to bring money in? How am I going to do this? How am I going to pay the bills, the debts? But you're still here. You're still alive, right? You found a way because you're tenacious. You don't realize it. But what if we intentionally realize that as eagles, we can be tenacious and we can take advantage of the storm? How do you take advantage of the storm? I remember 2019, guys, when we had the famous COVID, right? And how many things, everyone shut down. We were shut up in a house. We couldn't go out. We could only go out for a short period of time. If you were in Melbourne, how many of you know we were the most shut down city in the world for those in Melbourne, right? It was terrible. But it was I took advantage of it. A few of us kept on investing and we grew 400% in our investments. Why? When I look back, I realized everyone was sitting at home and they all had money, but they couldn't spend it. So they started putting it into investments, markets, started spending time on the computer through Zoom, learning about new things. A lot of online shopping went through the roof as well. Have you guys realized that? Okay. Now, could the crypto world have gone up? It could have, but there wasn't enough people teaching it like we are now. So we've only got 5% of the population in the crypto market coming to the crypto market, 15% at the end of this year. So we're up to about 7 to 10%. Imagine what's going to happen now that Donald Trump has won. He's big on crypto. Everyone, whether we like it or not, follow America and tend to follow what's happening there. And so we are moving into the crypto market. Is it worth looking into and educating yourself? Be tenacious. Use the storms to your advantage. So you can either run from problems or you can embrace them and see what the opportunity is. Number 3, independence. Eagles hunt alone and know their own strength and skills. Know that their own strength and skills determine their success. So one of the things I always talk about is that sometimes you just got to fly up so high by yourself and kind of figure out where you're heading. Knowing that you're part of a tribe, and when you look around, there are other eagles in the sky that are also flying. But sometimes we just got to be on our own and figure out our vision, our calling. Would you agree with that? Because we all have a desire here to create wealth beyond ourselves, to help others and ourselves. We're not selfishly looking at upgrading to a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, although Hyacinth would love to have a Lamborghini. We call him the Lamborghini man, but I've suggested to him that he can hire one for the day. 5 days a week. No, kidding. Maybe 5 times for the year. It's like the one who retires and the guys who say, I'll go play golf every day. No, you're not. You're not going to play golf every day. All right. You get tired of it. So we're not going to upgrade to these huge, lavish lifestyles when we create wealth. We're going to upgrade to a good lifestyle and also create something for other people. How awesome is that? I love hearing Gertrude today when we went to the gym, asking this huge gym chain whether they have social support and social corporate social responsibility. She just came in and told me what it is. and it was funny to hear that they didn't have it. And then she educated them, and you know what? She got a roaring yes. We would love to get to be behind what you're doing with e-girl empowerment. She just created a marketing strategy in 10 minutes of just showing up there 3 times a week, doing her workouts, and then creating a relationship and now talking to the right people. And they even said to her, you can put a big banner up and launch your program in our gym. And we'll get all the women there, and we'll even do it cooperatively, and then international company. So be independent. That's exciting, right? But why? Because she had a vision. She's full with the vision, focused with tenacity of saying it is possible to do, right? And you guys can do the same. Each of us, as we have a clear vision. That's why goals are so important. Persistence. Eagles are persistent and see things through, even when faced with distractions. I was saying that today, grab that fish. How many of you love that eagle? It grabbed its fish. It knew where it was going. It was just circling around, waiting for the right time, and it went for it. And don't look to the left or right. Don't let distractions get a hold of you. I know I went through a period just this year where I decided to look at some investments in the network marketing sector, and I went in that sector full on 100%. And all of a sudden I'm like, I'm working, burning the candle from both ends. I know sometimes Some of you guys said you ever rest. I take a lot of rest. I have too much rest sometimes. I just enjoy. I wake up when I finish sleeping, and I go to sleep when I'm tired. And we have that journey of being able to be freed up in our time, but we're fully occupied. But it took a lot of my time, and I had to make a decision and change it and say, well, now that I'm refocused on Capture Your Purpose and creating the academy that's going to happen next year, and the memberships, and with all of your support, and seeing these Mondays really come up to a really better quality and a good place, I need to make a decision, and I can't be distracted. And so I had people calling me. Guess what happens when you decide to make a decision? Do you get distractions? Yeah, I had people call me, offer me positions, offer me great opportunities if I'd stay in the network marketing side. And I just had to keep saying, I'm sorry. I'm focused on this. I've got my clients already. I need to give them the best service. I've got the opportunity that I can see where I'm in charge of my own business, and I know where I want to head with it. And I have a community that's backing me up as well. Because remember, as I fly as an eagle alone, I'm also looking around. I've got a whole community backed up. We're doing the same thing, and we're hunting together as lions, right? How exciting is that? So persistence, guys. Are you willing to be persistent in 2025? Remember, it starts now in November. Made for life. I like this. I'm thinking, how do I relate this to business? Absolutely easily. Eagles generally mate for life, but if one dies, the surviving eagle will usually find a new mate quickly. All right. What does that mean, and how do I relate that to business in 2025? How do I relate it to wealth creation? It's literally saying, are you ready to mate for life in that journey of the right quadrant? Business and investments. Have you had enough of me going on about it that the left-hand quadrant is just making you a slave to money? The right-hand quadrant makes money a slave to you. It is a huge change. It takes time. Normally 2 to 5 years it takes to change our mindsets. Now, some of you run with me for quite a few years, right? Sandy, you've run with me for a few years. Even Margaret has run with me for a few years. The others have just come in the last year or two, but some of you run with me for a few years, right, Sandy? I think about 7.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was with you before little Josiah was born.
Wow, so that's over 8 years.
Yes.
And you've heard me bang on about this, but you've seen the results as well in my life.
I see a totally different Ruben. It's
Yes.
like, not the same person at all.
I hope I'm a better version of myself.
You've grown. I've just, every time, every year I see growth by the bucket load.
Thank you. And thank you for being here, learning as well, because you inspire us in the ability that we can see in the learning that you are learning, and still going strong in picking these things up. So
Amen.
I made a decision a few decades ago to mate for life with wealth creation, and literally say, I want to be a wealth creator. I want to be a dominator in this area, and I don't want money to dominate me. And so I love when just recently when Gertrude had a dream, and the Lord spoke to her and said, money is just numbers, and I am in charge of the numbers. I love that when I was going through, when debts were high in our lives, I could put my hand on those debts and say, I owe no one anything but a debt of love, and see over $200,000 of debt cleared up in just a few years. It is potentially possible, guys. Nothing is impossible. But you've got to have that journey of saying, I don't have a journey where when we go through downturns in our finances and our investments and business, I don't say, I need to go back to a job. I need to go back to a job. I need to go back to work and get anxiety being thrown at me. Instead, I go, no, let's find a new opportunity. So mate for life, just like eagles mate for life, is, are we willing to step into the right-hand side quadrant and always think that way? Now, it's not easy at the start. And trust me, when I started this into business, I was earning less than my friends and my colleagues who were in the career arena earning more money. But that's not the case now, because sometimes it gets a bit slow when you get started, and then it propels out. And there is no one I know who can earn the capacity we have to earn, who are just employees. Okay, how many of you know you can't earn more than your CEO? All right, not possible. Number 6, there are 9 attributes just before we finish. Competitive. Eagles have a competitive edge that pushes them and others to achieve more. How many of you feel that you're competitive? Like you go, yes, I have a competitive edge. This is possible. This is doable. Even when things don't go the way they should, I just go back in there, go, let's hit this and let's achieve more. Let's push each other to achieve more. All right. Number 7, bold eagles. Eagles are bold, sorry. Eagles are bold and daring, and they move quickly and decisively. Now that's important. Okay. When you see an opportunity, when you see a decision, now people say I'm slow in making my decisions. Now, most of you in the group here say I'm quick. Okay. But most of the others I hang around with, when they introduce something to me, I'm a little bit slow. Why? I'm an urchin in terms of asking lots of questions, working through it, just keeping myself a little bit slow. I consider myself not a high risk taker, but instead a very high value taker in looking at things and saying, is this worth investing in? And then when I'm ready to go, I go fast. So yes, I make a quick decision. And yes, when I'm in it, I'm 100% in till I see whether it's going to run or not run. Now, the good thing is every time if you go in quickly and nimble and you're daring, you can also recover fast, and you can also make sure that whatever you put in is producing. Okay, and that's what I want you guys to keep learning as we go through this year and next year. Number 8, symbol of strength. Eagles are a symbol of strength, courage, freedom, and determination. How would it look if your business, what you stood for? Like, I'd love you guys. How many of you guys would love to have a coat of arms? Why don't you have a family coat of arms? That symbolizes strength, courage, freedom, and determination. Who would get ChatGTP and create a coat of arms? If you do that, pop it in the chat group if that's something you do as an exercise for next week. Like my family, the Sarvanathan family, I was telling my daughter today, she's gone to Japan, Seychelles, and from Japan she's going to South Korea. I have never been to Japan. I'm normally the traveler in my family, but the emblem that I have created, the symbolism I've created is let's travel to all the world and speak about identity and kingdom and the powerfulness of who we are in our purpose. And that's why I love the map, and below it, it's got the value of a soul that none should perish. Now, 2 of my girls, Serena and Esisha, have been to Japan, and I haven't been to Japan yet. Hiromi, you got to take me, all right? And now my other girl is going. My Esisha is not after Japan. Is going to South Korea. I've never been there. Now I can be upset and go, how come they're getting there before me? Or I can be competitive, or I can go, wow, the family heritage is already passing on. Like, I don't have to travel to every nation. If my family starts traveling to every nation, if my influence starts traveling to every nation, we get the job done either way. Makes sense? And so we got to pray for her and prophesy over her on Sunday as she traveled. And she just said an hour ago, said she's touched down, or a couple of hours ago, just before we started the meeting. And that's exciting. So create an emblem, a coat of arms. So in the chat group, guys, pop a 1 in, a 111 in if you are ready to create a coat of arms between now and next week. Think about it. What's my coat of arms going to say? It's a symbol of strength, courage, freedom, and determination. What's it going to look like? What are the colors around it? What is it that I would be so excited to be passing down to the next generations while I'm alive? Remember, we're living our legacy, not leaving a legacy. Finally, guys, number 9, the eagle is sacred in certain traditions. Especially the bald and golden eagles are considered sacred and revered in American Indian traditions and in culture and religion, including our faith in Christ. There is that scripture that I love, that it says, you shall run and not grow weary, you shall walk and not faint, you shall rise up with wings like eagles. All right. Do you look at the investments and the business, the wealth creation sector that you've been entrusted with, and see it as a reverential thing, as a sacred thing? Each of you have something that you're doing, something that you're moving into, something that you're applying. I love, Darren, we talk about the idea of the business that he runs, and in the adventure, warrior spirit adventure, in that sector. Is that a sacred thing that has been entrusted for him to run with? What about for each of you? What is that you would look at in 2025 and say, my investments, my business are sacred things that I am popping anything out around it and everything around it, I'm going to put to invest in my learning to create better ways to produce. Okay. So I hope that helps, because it certainly excited me just sharing this with you. Having focus, clear vision, having tenacity, never giving up, taking advantage of the storms, having independence, learning sometimes you just got to do it on your own, but you're not alone. All right. You got to do it on your own, but you're not alone. And that's really important to know. You got to have persistence. You got to have be mated for life to wealth creation and always be learning, competitiveness, be willing to push hard, push the envelope, being bold, daring, making quick decisions, symbol of strength, have a coat of armor. Some of you have put the 111 in, creating coat of armor. Hopefully others will also say yes and put that in, and say, I'm going to create a coat of armor. I'm going to create something that will pass down. I'll design something. And if you don't know how to design it, pop into ChatGPT and get it designed. And having a sacredness towards what you've been given and entrusted with. And so just create some goals around this that will make a difference. Finally, as we come to a concluding slide, which Margaret is like, again, a fly on the wall. She can see the stuff that I'm creating before I create it. But she said this before, and I'm going to say it again. By building a career or business that aligns with your values, the wealth you generate is a reflection of your positive contributions to the world. Wealth with purpose brings greater fulfillment and empowers you to keep creating value that resonates with others. So are you ready to create? Are you ready to push forward? Okay, ready to do something that's going to make a difference? Awesome, guys. Let me stop the share there. I know we went a little bit longer today. I really felt that this is important because we've got a couple more weeks before we go on a break in next week or in next 2 weeks. So first week of December, we'll break till next year. Got some exciting things ahead next year that'll also be in terms of memberships, not for you, but for the next round of people, including actually you guys will also have access to the memberships and the quality of what the memberships will give. We're looking at an academy. So when I fly alone, sometimes I'm thinking of how can Capture Your Purpose become an academy. Why? Because if I can create an academy, I can teach you to create an academy. I can see Hannah having an academy. I can see Margaret having an academy. I can see Sandy having. I mean, so many of you have ideas that you can create an I'm wondering why you've got Mel, who's a 111 for Mel with a coat of armor. What about for you? I can see you create an academy. I mean, and so I'm going ahead, and I've never thought about an academy until a few months ago. And I was thinking, that's a really powerful thing. But then I realized that Margaret already said to me, I'm going to be writing textbooks. And I went, no, I'm not internally. But what Margaret says, sometimes she's not sometimes, she's always accurate and on the ball. And then suddenly went, academy, textbooks, makes sense. Right? So what about for you guys? Like, where do you see yourself in what we've learned today? And this next 2 weeks before we finish for the year is to set you up that you already have started your 2025. Okay, so let me open it up to others. Want to hear from you before we finish off. Let's make use of the valuable time we have, because we're investing in knowledge, we're investing in things that are also practical that can come out of it. So who would like to share a little bit about, maybe add some value to this, to what you've learned from today? Don't all unmute and jump in together.
I think I might quickly say something. I'm going to reinforce the goal setting, the SMART goals. I've been not the greatest at writing it down. I've always carried it up in my head, spoken it out a lot, repeated what the goals are many times, but I haven't always written it down. And so I just wanted to reinforce the value of that. I can really see that. I think that's something that all of us should take away, should be one of our big takeaways tonight. Is the value of goals.
Yes.
Smart goals.
Amen.
Absolutely.
I think it's also good to have a board where you can take the pictures of what you're wanting to do as well.
Yeah, what do you call those? People do them when they want to design.
It's a goal board.
Yeah,
board.
Vision board.
Vision board.
Vision
Yeah.
board.
Anyone got those? Anyone done those?
Yes, I've always done them.
Beautiful. Yeah, very good for visualizing when you wake up in the mornings or when you're going to sleep or whenever you feel anxious, you go over to it and look at this is the vision I'm creating. And the quality of what we're creating is not just here's my boat I'm going to have, here's my private jet, here's my car that I hear often people have. And so the quality would be more around here's what I can give to the community, here's what I can pass on to others, here's what I can have, buy my own home, pay off my mortgage, here's what I can do in being rent-free, debt-free, here's what I can do in getting rid of all my credit cards, like it's statements like that, and live from a different position of more wealth base, that you're creating value for the community and creating opportunities that are going to be amazing. What about others? Anyone have questions? Anyone feel like this has been, they want to add to what I've shared, because I want you guys to get to the next step of leadership, which is you might have things to add, and I think all of you do have something that you can contribute to as well. Go, Amy. I see you.
Hi, family. It's thank you for the wisdom and the knowledge that you've created also as well and implemented in all of us. Thank you, Ruben. So what I've taken is to be bold. What is it to be bold as a woman? Like for myself as well, what does it take to be able to carry a community in a situation where it's like chaos or disorganized, but what can we do to carry it when the gifts that we have individually to be able to contribute to our community? So that's what I've taken on, is to fly high, to be able to see the vision, and also just take it as an encouragement to be confident in who we are, and to know that we have a community backing us up and beside us, as well as Ruben is my mentor, and Auntie Ruby and Auntie Geta. They've been my mentors, and having that encouragement, strengthening and comforting to say, hey, come on, girl, get your I'm gonna say get your ass up, get going, stay focused. So that's two things, that is to stay focused and to run with the vision. Like for example, our brother Churchill, he's got an amazing vision, but he needs a woman as a leader as well as to be there for him, because he needs a helper to be able to run this course. Because like Uncle Ruben says, that we all need our women like e-power, like we also need to back up our men, because they are our leaders as well. So if, like Auntie Gertrude said, if we don't have a vision, it perishes. So I believe in that. It's like let's go. So this is a community that is safe and empowered, and that is willing to take the task that God given us to do, our purpose and our calling. Thank you.
Wow. I think we got women power rising here. I love it. What a blessing. Makes me remember an interesting, funny story of my first job I had at Monash University, and I had my boss was a woman who was she was leather jacket. She used to drive a Harley, amazing lady anyway. And my manager who interviewed me and gave me the job was also a woman, but she was an interesting one who got offended very easily. And so we were having this conversation with this older gentleman called Doug. I still remember his name. And he set me up really badly because he knew the Bible like me. And I used to love reading the Bible and talking about the Bible. And he turned to me one day, we were all in the same cubicle with my manager, and her name was Joe. I still remember those days. Anyway, and he sets me up, and I said something about Adam and Eve and the man and the woman and the app and the fruit that was eaten, and she just got offended. She thought I was putting down women. I got marched into the manager's office, and this big, amazing lady with leather jacket, everything around, looked at me and said, "Do you have a problem with women?" I said, "No, my mom's a woman and I love her to bits." And she just looked at me, trying not to crack up because I was very innocent, very naive. And I said, "No, what did I do wrong?" No idea. But we need to have our women rise up and be supportive of that. And I love that this is happening here. And yes, interestingly enough, Churchill has just said that there's a women's rugby team that has already started. The women have come to him and said, "You need to get us in too. We refuse to let you just have only the men playing." And he's like, "We don't have the funding yet." And they go, "Well, we just want to come in and get started." So how exciting is that? So we're going to see some strong women built up in the rugby and sporting arena too. So awesome. Anyone else want to contribute? And again, please feel free to add. I want you to start adding to contributing to what is being shared here, not just learning, but we contribute and we all learn from each other, including myself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Carl, for all the stations. The 9 attribute of an ego, I really love that. And the one that really speaks to me is the being independence. God has given us the ability to be free. I am independent. I wanna be like that, like hunting alone, to know that my own strength, the strength in me determines my success. So I believe that I have that type of strength, and I want to see it work more, where I will not relent back, but to push on in order to have a success through my skill and my ability. And again, being bold, I have the ability to dare, and I know I can dare. I can step out to do things, and when I lay my hand on it, it's gonna be successful. So sometimes things make you to lay back, but I don't wanna be back. I don't wanna, relent back, but to see that I got what I really am looking for, to come up and to be successful in that. That courage and strength is there too. And the determination will really help me to move forward.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mom Carol. I love that. Determination and being daring. Amazing. Huh? You have so many ideas, and I really feel for 2025, we got to take one or two, and you guys as a group now next year, as leaders, start to help Mom Carol and give her ideas on how we can take this to a place where it's producing income. Mom Carol's got such a generous heart. And just heartbreaking to hear the story of how her sister got shot a few years back in Nigeria through looting and road rage, and not road rage. What do we call it, Mom Carol? I forget the name we would think of, but people just shooting in the street. And
bad people,
and took the sister to the hospital, and they wouldn't treat her until they paid money. And by the time they got money across to them, she was already, and she looks after, helps look after the sister's children. And there's little bits of things everywhere. She's an amazing cook, amazing chef, amazing songwriter, poetry writer, makes shirts. I don't know what else. I mean, chili paste. What else does Mom Carol not do? The berets, the hats, knits. There's so much. And what would it like if we can take some of these things? Braiding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we take some of these things and take it to to something that's producing as a business. So guys, I want you to think of ideas over the next couple of weeks, months. As you come up with an idea, give Mom Carol a call, because you are leaders too. Let's start to encourage her to see if we can start some things. And I always start business with little or no capital. My investments are always in knowledge and education and learning, and from mentors and books, and directly from people and courses. But in the business arena itself, it's like I'm going to start with little or no capital, because then I produce heaps of profits, right? And so let's see if we can help Mom Carol through that with this ability. How exciting would that be?
Thank you.
So now there's a few of us, Mom Carol, here who are going to be helping come up with ideas and take it to the place where we can see it produce.
Amen.
Amen.
Thanks.
Absolutely awesome. Anyone else before we finish off? We just give another 5-10 minutes. Just I really sense that we're having maturity rise up, and we talked about mature. What was one of the things in this circle? I like the name I gave it here. Intellectual maturity. You like that? In the career and calling side, the growth of our intellectual maturity, our ability to see things and see opportunities. Anyone else feel to contribute, share? Ross is all good. He's ready for bed. Hiromi, Hiromi's laughing. The cat didn't come in today, and Zach didn't come in. Was he upset with me for sending his parents home so late yesterday? Wonderful. Hannah, anything you want to add, contribute that will benefit all of us?
Not today. I think it was, setting goals and articulating them in a way that it's actionable and accountable. It's very important. The only thing I think is we need to go and revisit the goals that we have written, so we are not forgetting, because it's one thing putting it in paper, but then to actually practice it, it's a different thing. And another thing is that what we think is our goal today might be a bit different, early next year. So it's a good idea to revisit first for accountability, but second, because it's kind of a living document that we can change.
I love that. You've added some very valuable things. Yes, accountability, that's very important. I think that's great. A living document, which is great, because goals are never meant to be just written in stone. They need to change because we are writing something at the level of maturity we have today. And a few days from now, our maturity, as we're growing together in these environments, will have to grow. They will not diminish, and they will not stay stagnant. They will grow. So when we grow, we go back and go, oh, I need to adjust these a little bit more. And it is vital. I mean, I don't know how many will commit to this, but it is entirely in your hands. I can only give you information and suggest it is, take time out, take a day, put in your calendar, make time. Like, how many of you actually put in your calendar to take time out for yourself? Do you actually put it in your calendar? Me time, I like to call it, because most of us do it when we have the time, and we'll never have the time. So if you would take some time even today, open your calendar, and at least once a month, at least once a week, put some me time in. And that me time is focused on what are my goals, what's my vision, what's my calling and dreams, and re-evaluating it. At the start, it may take you 2-3 hours to sit down and write those goals and make them into SMART goals, and then sit back and imagine and have a sense of fulfillment of going, that's what I want to do. It goes into your subconscious. And if at least once a month you're reviewing your goals, you should do it every day, but I don't. I'm not going to lie and say it's possible. People say you should do it every day. But what I found for me personally is connecting it to purpose. So as soon as I connect it to purpose, it's in my subconscious, and then I need to activate it and move towards it, right? And so if I get rid of distractions and I have a purpose, I tend to then work with my goals. It's just there every day because that's all I'm going to be doing. But if you can take some me time, and write these down. And just what Hannah said is gold in that, and have someone accountable with, or few people. Just, and the best way of accountability is sharing it with others. Because you tell them, when you say, what do you do? "Oh, I'm going to do this, this, and this. I'm going to have this achieved. I'm going to multiply this in the next few years. I'm going to do that." And whether they accept it or not, is not, it doesn't matter. You just did it for yourself because you brought accountability out just by speaking. But some may go, hey, let's hold each other accountable to this. And that would be awesome. So thank you, Hannah. I think that's a, you said you had nothing to share, but you had some amazing things. Hyacinth boy, anything you want to add before we finish off? You learned anything from today, Hyacinth? You're going to go for soccer training, and I said I think it's better you stay and pick these up, and it'll help you. What's one goal you've written for the 2025?
Definitely, I've not about the real soccer life. I have the paper printed. I have it on top of my bed. I look at it every single day. And for 2025, I'm still working on 2024, finishing the goals that I'm still not completed. Like there's a couple things I need to learn and I need to gain. But 2025, not yet. But I've got some things in mind that I'm definitely thinking of writing down. But still, I have 2024 goals, a goal that I've not still completed it, but I think I will by the end of this year. And yeah, it should be done, and then 2025 will be ready for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, how amazing is that? He's got on his bed. Actually, the other day I came and sat on your bed, and I looked up and I saw all these amazing. Because Josiah was on the phone using your what's it called?
Alexa.
Alexa. He's making phone calls through Hyacinth's Alexa while Hyacinth was away. And so I jumped on the bed and he was calling all the sisters, and they're like, "Hello, Hyacinth," and going, "No, it's Josiah." And he started having chats with them. So I was on your bed and I looked up and I saw this. I saw the wheel of life and I saw all these statements and goals. Amazing. Well done. And so he's seeing it every day. So that's one way of looking at your goals every day.
Yeah.
Put it above you. So when you wake up and open your eyes,
let's look at it and yes, let's do it.
Absolutely. Well done. Wonderful. So, Hiromi, anything to add from your side? I know Ross is saying he's ready for bed. What about you, Hiromi?
You want to say something?
Harami's ready for bed too, she says.
No, I don't think.
Rossi, under the bus.
Putting her on the spot.
What did you tonight? What stood out?
Yeah, I just want quickly that someone mentioned about what goal board. It's very good idea.
Vision board.
Vision board. Yeah.
That's good idea.
Vision board.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Margaret, you can kind of send some pictures of examples of vision board in our WhatsApp group and in our wealth creation group. So some of you guys can grab a hold of it, and it's a great idea to do. A lovely idea. My vision board is downstairs with all the countries that I want to travel to and the countries I've been to, right? So that's my vision board. But you can do it in very creative, different ways. It's amazing.
I also have it. I also have it in a musical thing, so you can watch it as like a movie.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
There you go. Okay, I love that. So, Margaret, you're going to add something as well?
No, I've just seen people who've had, those big scrapbooks that you can buy.
Yep.
That have been around forever. Yeah, I've turned them into sort of like a vision board book. Or just a big board that you can put on the wall somewhere that you can keep putting stuff on.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Great. So share ideas, guys. Remember now, you're graduating to being leaders of yourselves and leaders of a community of people that you are already have a higher level of understanding in wealth creation than most people you'll meet on the street. Okay, including most experts who've written theory but not done the practical. Okay. Mercy's just turned on. Amazing woman who, in Myanmar, where there's a war, has multiplied her money through the Treasure NFT, through MetFi. She's literally multiplied money. And every time I say to her, hey, Mercy, you got some money to try this out? Yep. How much money have you got in your wallet? And she'll show me crypto wallet, got money in it. And like she doesn't fully understand everything on how to do it, but she's just doing it and she's making, and it's helping her with the kids, it's helping with the community. And I'm just excited about what's going to look at for her and her sister as they have to run so much of stuff by themselves. They're single, dad's remarried, mom passed on, and they've just got to do things on their own. But I'm just so excited for them. And so what Em said, I think, Em, there's something there that you need to cultivate for next year, that we're going to see some amazing things take place. So looking forward to seeing more. All right, my guys, I'm going to say thank you for staying a little bit longer. I just felt this was important. I hope it has put into you some ideas and thoughts. Please, please, please invest in yourself and write these goals down. Look at the kids, guys. Mercy, show us the kids again, just before we go. Mercy, show us the children again. Beautiful laugh. We just saw the children. Show us the children again.
Yeah. Yes, the children are doing some action song right now. It's pretty noisy.
Yeah, we were just looking at them and we missed it. So can you show the children again? And
Okay.
can you turn your phone?
Okay.
Turn your Yes, perfect. Hello. What a blessing.
They are dancing.
Absolutely gorgeous. What
They
a
are so joyous.
Absolutely. No one told them not to be. Then amazing. Life has not reminded them that they have to be sad.
It's excited, yeah.
Amazing. Wow. So that's why, guys, can see how as a community we keep showing and helping Mercy to create better even business that will help her as well, and produce more. Self-sufficiency, God dependency, as we say. What a blessing. Awesome. Beautiful.
That's gorgeous.
They're singing for us, but we can't hear them. But
yeah, I wish we could.
Well, maybe Sunday they'll do an item. I think they were trying to organize. So
that'd be lovely.
Yeah. Thank you, Mercy. What a blessing. So, guys, thank you. We'll see you next week. I'll pass it back to Margaret to finish the night. Margaret, thank you again for great hosting. Amazing.
What can I say? I think you've said it all, Ruben. I think it's all been said. Just to recap, SMART goals. We really need to get into those SMART goals and really be disciplined about writing them down. Making time for ourselves. I'm not very good at making lots of time for myself. I do things that I see as supportive of my health and well-being, but nothing that is like, real time out for myself. So again, that's another thing that, we really need to concentrate our efforts on as well. Also gives us the opportunity to have time to think and just ruminate on things like wealth creation, give us the opportunity to imagine and to come up with ideas in this world of so much noise in the background, trying to come up with peaceful time. I think that's it. Yeah. So it's been a wonderful night, Ruben, as always. Thank you for the information that you've provided us and the support and the encouragement. Yes, I think also we should get on and create our mood boards. That's another word for them, mood boards.
It's a good board. I like that.
Yeah, mood boards and and maybe we need more than just one. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Cork boards. I've just been looking in Google at the moment and they're mostly kits that you can buy. So it's not about buying kits necessarily, but maybe that might be a start for some. And a lot of people just buy magazines too, because the pictures there's amazing pictures that can be found in magazines that you can cut out, and that can also be really therapeutic and keep you in this really mindful space too. It can sort of get you back into craftiness again. We used to love cutting out things, didn't we, when we were little?
Yes, we did.
Cutting out pictures. I remember those little books that we used to get that had there were pictures of girls and boys or teenagers, and you could cut out their dresses, and then you could, there's little tabs to fold over the bodies once you cut the bodies out.
Yeah, I did.
No.
Yeah, I did.
Did you do that too, Harami?
I did too as well. Especially bring back.
So, it brings back memories. Yeah, things that we just don't do now. So, purchasing some magazines, or possibly you've got a whole lot of piles of magazines that you haven't thrown out. You could start looking through, and they could also give you some ideas and insights into what you want, what you achieve, what you're looking towards, working towards. So I think I'll leave it at that now, because, I'm just like Hiromi and Ross. I'm tired too. I'm ready to go to bed. I've got to get up for work tomorrow. Yeah, for that job. Yeah. Anyway, one day that won't be the case. Good night, everyone. Look forward to seeing you next week for another really exciting session with Ruben. Yeah.
Thanks, Margaret. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Love you.
See ya.
Bye.